Oh, good morning, boat lovers. It is a beautiful, crisp morning, and it's going to be an absolutely stunning day today. As usual, there's the weather report. We've had a bit of a rabbit problem around the garden, and in particular under the house. I put some mesh and vermin proofing screening around the place, which was great, except I didn't realise there was a rabbit under the house while I did it. So the rabbit dug its way out and was coming and going at leisure. So I got myself a rabbit trap, caught the rabbit last night, and it was only a small one, and I didn't want to go through the motions of killing it. If it had been a big rabbit, I might have done that and then perhaps cooked it or something else, but instead I just let it go well away from the property. That's got rid of Mr. Rabbit, and we'll find out if there's any more under the house. I don't think there are. I think it was just one. I know normally you don't just get one rabbit, but anyway, hopefully we'll have no more dramas with noises from under the house. Alrighty, enough talk about rabbits and wildlife. Time to open the shed and get stuck into fitting those panels, and then I'm about to start sanding and preparing for fiberglassing. Wow, alright. Hello boat lovers, welcome aboard. I'm Steve, and I'm single-handedly building Dragonfly. She's a 53 foot or 16.2 metre flat bottom wooden riverboat. She includes twin outboards, aft cabin, galley, a saloon, wheelhouse, separate head and shower, and a centerline queen double up front. She's specifically designed for the sheltered and inland waters of the River Murray here in South Australia. Join us each week to watch the mayhem and madness of one man and his rescue dog building a massive 53 foot flat bottom wooden riverboat. I've had a coffee, so I'm pretty good to go this morning. Ooh, it's quite fresh in here this morning. That's all right. I'm sure I'll warm up once I start working. Let's have a look at how these panels turned out. There we go. I'll give those a good coat of epoxy on this side. I have some peel ply coming. For those of you who are not aware, peel ply is a material that you put over fiberglass when you're fiberglassing while it's wet, and then when everything's dry you peel the peel ply fabric off, and it stops any wax forming on the top, and it helps get you a nice smooth finish. So I've got a roll of that coming in the next few days. Once that arrives, I'm going to start glassing things, etc. So alrighty, let's check out these panels. Of course, I did write on the back of these which edge was the top, and then I've glued the timber over that, so I don't know, but I'm sure I can work it out. Well, there we go. Panel number 1. That's going to look great with a life ring on there, or a throw ring as they're called. And as I said, this is going to have hinges at the top, and it's going to be able to open out like that. If we've got the aircon running, if we need it to, or maybe just open a little bit like this to let the air flow in. Fantastic. All right, going to clean that one up this morning. Really pleased with that. Going to grab the orbital sander and clean those up a little bit, ready for fiberglassing. And then I think I'm just going to start on the wheelhouse roof on top, and I'm just going to basically work my way down. I'm going to go over the boat, give it a light sand and a vacuum, get everything exposed and cleaned up. Then I can start filleting and filling any screw holes and things like that. Get all that done, ready for sanding and fairing and fiberglassing. Good morning again, boat lovers. It's a lovely morning this morning, quite fresh, light breeze, going to be a beautiful day. Right, there's the weather report as usual. Got my coffee, so the world is good. Maple's waiting to play ball, but we've already played this morning, so that's pretty much it. Sorry Maple, we're finished for this morning, sweetheart. All finished. Anyway, where are we up to? Yesterday I didn't do any filming, but I did make a start on fairing the boat, getting everything sanded and tidied up ready for glassing. I got the wheelhouse roof done, and in fact all of the roof from the wheelhouse back, including the top edges. And from there's a couple of edges that overhang, and they're only 12mm thick with a little bit of plywood hanging over the edge, so I'm going to thicken those up by putting an extra hardwood beading around the edge of those before I round them off. But I'll show you the process of what I've been doing. It's worked. I might as well walk around to the big open door because I've got the coffee in my hand. It's actually worked quite well, because I thought I was going to use the orbital sander, because I thought if I used the little trimmer or the router that it would splinter the top edge of the plywood as I went across the grain. But I did a couple of test pieces and that wasn't the case. It worked really well. So that saved me a ton of time. Even edges like this, which are protruding quite a bit, I've discovered that if I run the router along the top of those first to round that edge off, and then sand back the flat surface to get it flush, it's much easier than the other way around. So that's been great. I'm going to whiz up the ladder. I'll show you the edges that I have done up the top. I think everything's looking pretty good up there, ready for filling. So here we go, ladder time. Right. So I'll just turn the camera around here and show you a little bit of the edge on the wheelhouse roof, and I think it's coming up okay. Here we go. So hopefully you can see that edge in the camera there if I'm not moving along too fast. Rounded all the corners, and then of course we have the edge along there as well. And the other side, nice and smooth here. I've also sanded all of the roof here, just gone over with an 80 grit, basically just getting any little lumps and bumps off, any spilled epoxy, anything like that, so it's really nice and smooth. I've vacuumed it all, which I'll be doing again of course before I fill everything, but I have to of course do all the screw holes. So got all these screw holes from where all the curved beams are. So I will be filling all of those. Any little cracks or voids anywhere, any spaces will be filled with the filler compound. And then I'll be going over probably with a 120 grit just to get everything really nice and smooth before I wet out and start glassing. But as I said, there's a couple of edges I have to do. I'll turn the camera around and show you what I mean by that. Right, so hopefully you can see this edge that hangs over here is only 12mm thick, and so that's not enough to be rounded off and strong, etc. So I'm going to thicken this edge up with a hardwood beading underneath. I'm going to glue that on today all the way around, and then once that's dry, that's going to give me a nice thick, probably about 24 to 30mm nice thick edge there that I can round off, and it'll be nice and strong so I can wrap my fiberglass around it when I'm glassing. So that's my first job. As I say, put the beading along this edge, and then once that's done, I'm moving down to the front of the boat because I've got to do the edges of those front decks that are over the forward cabin. Then I'll start working on the sides. So that's my plan. I started at the highest point, just working my way down, doing the flat surfaces, getting the edges done, and then of course after that I'll be doing the laborious task of sanding all the little in-between bits, the sides, the edges, underneath things, getting everything nice and smooth, ready for epoxying and glassing. So without further ado, I'm going to finish my coffee and start ripping down some timber or cutting some timber to size to put around these edges. Pretty exciting because I've been waiting for this for a long time, as you guys probably have too. Like, when's he going to get to the outside of the boat? Well, I'm on it, and it is almost fiberglassing time. So, you know, as everybody on YouTube says, I'm so excited, I'm so excited. Well, it's true, I am really excited about getting this done. That's a legitimate excitement. The windows for the boat are almost ready. They're going to be ready in their entirety by the end of this month. So they're mostly made. I think they're just off getting the aluminium frames polished and anodized, so we get that nice polished silver look for those frames. So they're nearly done, and I'm trying to get as much of the outside of the boat done as I can before the windows arrive. Of course, I can't put those in until the boat is painted. All the surfaces have to be completely finished and painted before the windows are glued into place. I don't think I'll get the boat painted by the time the windows arrive, but I'm certainly getting a lot of preparation done. So talking to you is not going to get it done. I'm going to jump into finishing my coffee, and then, as I say, cut some timber down and start getting these edges done. All right, let's do it. And before I start, let's have a listen to the birds. Everything's greening up nicely now after a little bit of rain, and as such, the birds are pretty happy. Right, let's build a boat. Boat lovers, how did we get through another week so quickly? I don't know, but we're making good progress. All right, thank you everybody for watching. Thanks for leaving all those amazing comments. Keep those coming. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. As you know, it's free and it helps the channel out, so trying to get those numbers up. Meanwhile, take care, boat safely, and the amazing Maple and I will see you guys again in a week's time.